Hi there, myself Akshay Vingani. I'm a mobile developer at treedev.com. I'm also an industry mentor at Regex Softwares. So today we will be learning about Flutter and mobile app development in detail. Although this session is targeted to very beginner and students who are learning mobile app development or who wants to get started in this field. Just for my statistics, I would like to know my audience age and some experience in software development. This helps me analyzing your feedback and my content. So for making more improved versions of my future sessions. So till then, I hope everyone who is invited for the session has joined the stream. If not, then do invite your friends, colleagues to this live event. We all will be learning a lot today. So is everyone joined, or like there are 42 people are here right now? I think I should wait for a few minutes, let them everyone join. So till then you can check out Regex Software's website. It's regexsoftwares.com. It's also available in the description. So you can check out their website and their winter training services and programs. Okay, I think these many people are there, like, so I think I should get started. So first of all, what is mobile app development? So interesting question. Basically, well, in simple terms, I can say any software which is designed to run on mobility devices like smartphones, tablets, smartwatches, etc. These software are called mobile apps, and the developer who builds such software is a mobile app developer. So when I say mobile app, it's not just native Android apps, Swift iOS apps, or Flutter apps. I consider all kind of websites who are devs their website content for mobility devices. So I think web apps are also mobile apps basically. Well, like the future is PWA and Flutter kind of stuff. So technically there are three types of mobile app development. So if you can see, like on the slide, there are three types of mobile app development. We have native, hybrid, and web. So it also depends upon the technology we use to code them. So native apps which are created for one specific platform or operating system. Web apps are responsive versions of websites. Basically these are websites, just they are responsive too much. So that can work on any mobile device or operating system because they are delivered using a mobile browser. So like for example, if you open any good website like W3 schools or anything, like if you resize this window, it adapts itself for a mobile version of, like, so when you open this website in your mobile screen, you can see like this adapts its content for it, right? So these are web apps basically. So then we have hybrid apps. So basically hybrid apps are the combinations of both native and web apps, but wrapped within a native app. So giving it to the ability to have its own icon or to be downloaded from the app store. So like if you have apps like Book My Show, Flipkart Lite, these all are hybrid apps. Like these are not native apps, these are not totally written in Android or iOS. These light apps are basically PWA, progressive web apps. Like if you search for PWA, so you will get it. So these are the progressive web apps also. So these are hybrid apps, very popular in the industry because like this saves a lot of time, effort of developers. So basically, like today we will be learning about mobile app development and properly in moreover Flutter. So let's get to the next slide. So what frameworks are available to build native apps? So when I say native apps, I can say like those who totally use and properly optimize for the native performance, like Flutter, React Native, Ionic, Xamarin, Native Script. I think you might not be knowing about Native Script, Accelerator, and a lot more, but there are literally ton of services and tools, frameworks to build native mobile apps which give you a native experience, right? If you like see in detail, like there's an framework called Corona also. Like it's actually Cordova, but someone named it Corona also. So Corona is also a native app development framework. So today we'll be like discussing about these two, like React Native and Flutter moreover. So well, so let's get started with the React Native. So React Native is created by Facebook and it's been there since 2015. You can build apps for both iOS and Android, and here are 5 apps which are built with React Native. Like Facebook itself, it's totally built on React Native. Instagram, Pinterest, Skype, Uber Eats, these are really have efficient apps which are built on React Native, and they are scalable as well. Although Flutter is a newer framework created by Google in 2018. Here are some applications which are built with Flutter. So like this Google Ads, Alibaba, Dream11, Google Stadia, Nubank, and literally many more. Even I am a Flutter developer. I have created a lot of applications with Flutter. So like your favorite Dream11 app is also made with Flutter. So imagine it like that. Even if you want to check it out, like some more popular apps, so we have this flutter.dev/showcase. So here you can see other popular apps like realtor.com, Tencent, the New York Times, Square, Google Assistant, and literally a lot. Like your Reflectly app, your Stadia app, everything is made with Flutter. So these are just the popular examples, and like you have a lot of them on Google Play Store. Although you can search on Google for more applications and details also. So enough of the application introduction. So let's first get into the difference. Major, like these two are React Native and Flutter. These two are the major competitors of the market in like building apps from a framework for both Android and iOS with a single 6 code base, like same code base, everything is same, just some minor changes with Android and iOS. I think that's in both of them. So React Native and Flutter, as I said, React Native is made by Facebook, Flutter is made by Google. React Native uses JavaScript while Flutter uses Dart. So like JavaScript, as you guys all know, like JavaScript is very old and very popular. It's even the most used language of 2019 in many years. Even in 2020 it's very popular, and I hope JavaScript will grow exponentially in future also. So as they say, Flutter works on Dart. It's a newly created programming language which is very similar to Java, JavaScript, or C#. So the Dart language, the Dart special language, is very similar. Its syntax is as similar as JavaScript or Java. As you can like see, it's a Dart website. So if there is some syntax available out there, like you can see these syntax are very similar to Java, JavaScript. We have our favorite semicolon, we have a return method, everything is same like that in Java or JavaScript. So although React Native have a huge community because JavaScript is from long years, and React Native came in 2014, so 2015, so it's basically it have a huge community support, and Flutter is right now growing its community, but yeah, it's also growing with a good speed. So I think that's the difference of between the years of having something on the internet. At the end, after a few years, both will be like a similar competition for them. So well, let's get to the technical aspect, if I can say. So Dart is still new, but one of the selling points of Flutter, well, it comes with a comprehensive library of beautiful UI widgets. So for any kind of app you want to build, there are many beautiful widgets available right off the box. That's not the case with the React Native. You have to search for third party libraries every time. Like for most of the stuff you need to search for third party libraries. Well, it also depends upon the developer experience, like how much experience the developer is. So like I can say, like minimum UI widgets, we have a comprehensive UI widgets, we have a lot of widgets available for Flutter. Even you can Google it up, like literally it's insane number of widgets in the documentation. I will get it to the widget catalog as well, so you can get it, know that like how much of the help the Flutter documentation itself can do for us, right? So let's get to the introduction to Flutter, since the session is all about Flutter. So now I think we should get with the Flutter. By the way, since I just forgot to introduce introduce our reject softwares also, so let's get that first. Uh, so as you can see, this is our website, rejectsoftwares.com. I am an industry mentor over here. Like I basically conduct these kinds of sessions for Flutter, and this is what I do. This is what we do basically. Like we build, we are dedicated experts. We give ed tech seminars and sessions and trainings to industries and students as well. We have our multiple batches. We are over 5 years of experience literally. So from 5 years we have grown ourselves a lot, and there are more than 40,000 students we have worked with. So literally our students are placed with in very big companies like IBM, Infosys, TCS, etc. So you can you must check it out, the website. Like we have a good one. So we also provide software services. As I said, training services we provide as well. So web applications, Android iOS applications. So if you have an idea but you need someone to help you out with the development process, you can get us over here. Like we build web application, SEO, SMO and everything. So we have a new division, machine learning and IoT based products also. So you can check it out and contact us if you need anything else, right? So also we have literally a lot of courses available. Like we have pay after placements program, and these are like the webinar weeks. We have competitive programming, machine learning, deep learning, AWS, big data and lot more stuff. It's also a coming up training similar to the winter training. Like we have training for Flutter as well. So as the Flutter training we have, although I will like discuss about this training at the end of the session. So just check it out, it's really good. So now we are here with the Flutter, right? So as I said, like Flutter is designed by Google. We can design beautiful applications. Native it's a UI toolkit we created with that. Google created that. So that's fast development, expensive and flexible UI. You have a native performance. Basically with Flutter, what it does is we have the control for every pixel on the screen. It's very pixel perfect. So you don't need to like design. You can design from here to here, everything from your own. You don't need to like depend on anything else. You can design using the existing pre widgets, or you can go ahead and create your own custom widgets for that. So it's quite fast, it's easy. Look at this app, look at this application, how much like good it is. It's very smooth and it's very popular app, Reflectly. Check them out on Play Store, it's available out there, right? We have a native performance. Literally there's no issue with the performance aspect. It's as easy as better as native code, right? Although there are some features which are limited, but those features don't matter at all for 99% of the applications. So as I said, who is using Flutter, I showcase like these popular brands use Flutter and everyone else also. So you can like check this website also. Like this is literally an awesome one. Now enough of Flutter. I think we should get started with the Dart, because like you guys will be like coding in Dart after installing Flutter, so you must be knowing something special about the Dart. So here's the website called dart.dev. Check them out here, right? So it says paint your UI to life. Basically, Dart is specially designed for building UI, optimized UI in productive development. It's very fast on every kind of platform. It's available for ARM and x64 architectures both. Like, as you can see, like Apple just launches its M1 chip on the ARM architecture with the mobile processor and like everything. In future you can build insanely fast application for macOS also. Right now also you can build up, it's still in development, but it's really good. So this language is optimized for user interface. As you can see, like this really good thing is just designed by its simple code, and like you can have multiple, it's properly segmented, properly available. There's nothing weird about it. So we have a lot of other features, like it's target for web mature and fast compilers for JavaScript. It's a backend code supporting your app written using a single programming language. So one of the best part I feel Flutter is, like you can write your UI and your logic both in a single file, right? Or in a both same language. Like the Dart is the only Dart is the language you need to learn. There is no other XML or any style sheets you need to worry about. You can just create your user interface and your logic at the same place, in the same file, in the same language as well. Like as you can see, I just show you a sample app. Like it's the user interface is written over here. You can write out the logic for that. It's really cool, it's really easy. So as I can say, like I will discuss this code later, like we will be building this application although also. So enough of the Dart. So let's get started with the setup of Flutter. To get started, you can just type on flutter.dev. So just flutter.dev, you have this get started button, right? So in this get started button, you can see this install. So if you are a Windows user, a Mac OS user, Linux user, or Chrome OS user, you can set up your Flutter for any platform you want. Am I audible? I think people are complaining. I am audible, right? Okay. Sorry for the delay. Okay, so we can get started now. So since I'm a Mac OS user, I will explain about this, but I think most of the users are from Windows or Linux, so you can check this out. So basically, to install Flutter, you must have a development environment with this minimum specs, like operating system Windows 7, and earlier only 1.32 GB space, and few tools like Windows PowerShell and Git for Windows. You can install Git if you don't have, although I feel you guys have Git over here. So download Git, right? It's really important. Now important thing is get the Flutter SDK. So download this as a zip file, extract it in this folder, like as it said, like extract in not in the desktop. Please don't extract it in desktop, it's not that good. So you can install in C drive, D drive, or any other drive, just not in the desktop, right? So you can also set up by cloning it, although I don't know it's very stable or not, but I suggest start with this. Then you need to update your path variables, like in the environment variables, like in basically Windows, we have that environment variable settings. In that you need to add your Flutter bin path, the folder which you get. You need to add this path over there, right? So after that you can literally check it out by if it's available in your terminal, like type which Flutter, so you can see if it's available. You have perfectly installed that. So Flutter SDK is very simple and easy to set up. So to check what things you are missing off, you can run the command flutter doctor. It's basically, it analyzes your installation files and configuration for all the Flutter you need. So as you can see, like, you don't have Android tool chains and the licensing is not available. So I must say you need to install Android Studio also. So although it's mentioned over there to download Android Studio, so let's open it. So Android Studio is basically a tool created by Google to build native Android applications. Like, that's what I was saying, like writing code in XML and then writing code in Java. Like, that's what these guys do in native Android, right? So you need to download Android Studio because this gives us the Android SDK. So whatever, like, even if you are using Flutter, it needs an Android SDK or an iOS SDK if you are on Mac. So that's why you need to download this Android SDK also. So also I suggest you to download the emulator as well. Emulator will be like given up within the installation. If not, then check it out. You need to set up for the emulator also. It's really important, right? Although then we have this such type of latest videos, I don't know, I don't need this all, right? So Android Studio is there. And for the Mac users, I suggest you guys to set up Xcode also. You can check this out simply with the App Store. Select search, go to Xcode, and literally you can download it from here. It will set up all the Xcode. It's moreover 10 gigabyte of thing, like it takes a lot of storage, but it also includes all the simulators and the code files and logic. You don't need to download anything in future also. It handles everything, right? So, like, as I said, you need to set up an Android device. If your system is too slow to run an Android emulator and you want to run it on your mobile device, like as I will be using in the same, like to run this in the mobile device, you have to enable developer options, then USB debugging. It's mentioned on the Android documentation as well, so you can check it out there. And for Windows, you need to install Google USB driver, because in Windows we don't have pre-installed ADBs and ADB and stuff, so you need to set up over there. Then when you set up everything, you can just type Flutter devices. It will give you your device results. Like as I can say, if I type Flutter devices over here, I can see my devices. It's running. So this device is connected. This is my OnePlus 70. It's connected. You can see like this, right? So as I said, like Flutter Doctor, to check it up, like type Flutter Doctor, and it will describe everything, which Flutter version you are using, and what's your Android license is, what's your Xcode setup, what's your Android Studio, and everything. I feel everything should come in green if you have everything properly set up. If not, then do check out on Google. There are a lot of troubleshooting stuff available over there. So we are not getting started with the web. It's very in early stage, right? So as I said, like you need to download Android Studio, Xcode, and any text editor if you have. Like if you want to get started with Android Studio, it's also great. But well, I use VS Code. So VS Code is something what I really likes to write code on it. So VS Code, you can just download it over here. I'll be teaching all the tutorials and stuff in this VS Code only, so you must have downloaded it, or if you are not, then to download it. After the VS Code, you need to set up few extensions also, because like by default in VS Code we don't have Flutter setup, so that's why VS Code is quite lightweight, because there's nothing everything set up. So you need to, whatever you are using, you can just download the extension. So that's simple. So selecting the extension, type Flutter and just download it, run it, and everything whatever it says, similar to Dart. Dart is the programming language, as I said, so you need to set up this Dart extension as well. Although I suggest you guys to have these other extension as well, like better comments, which gives you like a good color theme for your comments, like multiple type of comments. Then we have git lines, like git lines, if you guys have ever used like GitHub or something, so you can check out the code stuff. And one more thing I was like looking for, that's a brackets. That extension I used, I don't know, I don't remember the name. Yeah, this bracket pair colorizer too, like this you can download, it's really good. Like I just explain you how it's good. So if you open any Dart file, right, you can see this yellow line, this purple line, everything, these are brackets. Like this help you in managing your code, easily debug and easily check out everything. So it gives you this beautiful colorful stuff, so check it out, it's really good. So after you set up your VS Code, similar to this extension, you have such type of extension in your other tools and platforms also, like in Android Studio you have plugins, in other platforms as well, right? So this is the setup intro. Like I have given the Windows introduction for the setup. I don't feel like Linux and Mac OS users are really smart, so they can set up via this documentation itself. It's really good. So since I said like now you have already set up everything, and now you need to start Flutter, so you can start with the documentation itself. It's really good. They have a get started document, then they have this test drive, write your first app. Now as you can see in the left hand side window, if you are a previously Android developer, then you can check this document out, because it will really help you out understanding how Flutter is different from Android native. If you are from iOS, then they have this really good video out here, you can check this out, and also this documentation for the React Native guys who are shifting to Flutter because they feel Flutter is fast and easy to develop. You guys must check this out also. This is easy to understand for you guys, right? Similar to other platforms we have. Now we have this Dart language overview. So of course, like you need to understand Dart as well. So if you know Java, JavaScript or C#, you can easily learn Dart, right? So it's a Dart type system, everything is over there. You can get started with there's a null safety stuff also, everything, whatever you are stuck in future or present, you can just check it out. It's really good one, right? So now before getting into, like, let's create our first application with Flutter. So as I said, like there I thought about these two commands, Flutter devices and Flutter doctor. Like Flutter doctor I said, and now there's a command called Flutter create. So if you need to learn about any command, so you can just type that command name and hyphen help. It will give you a detailed documentation about that command, what that command is all about. I just size it up, right? So as you can see, you can mention different flags over here with the Flutter create command as well, right? So let's get started and create a new project. So in Flutter, while creating a Flutter project, you need to remember a few stuff, like the project name doesn't contains any white spaces, because like that's not understandable to the command. So let's keep it for example our project name as my project or first project. So you just need to type Flutter create and your project name. That's simple as it. So when you just hit enter, the what the SDK you set up, it will create all the project files, the Android native files, the iOS native files, and the sample application, a counter application also. That's really good one. So I just stop my this program over here, right? And well, I just need to open this project. So as you can see, this project is folder is created, my project, so I can get started within that folder. So just open your favorite code editor. In my case it's VS Code. So I just hit enter, and now as you can see, we have this. Okay, I think zooming it up properly will mess it around. So if you can, is there something zoom or some not available? I think well, I think this is too small for you guys, so I just took a screenshot, and let me, how to just zoom it up, I don't know. Okay, so if you can see, like, since the stream is in 720p, you can see these folders, right? If you don't know, like, you can just flutter create command and you can just check it out. So this is package config.json. So this file is not important for you, but it's important for the project. So it contains all the destination codes, like all the files this project needs to run this, like the SDK path and everything what you guys thought out. Similar to this, that .idea folder also contains these type of stuff. And then we have the Android folder and the iOS folder. If people are from Android developer field before, or have ever tried Android before, they already knew about this structure. We have this app, source, main, Java, resource, and all the resource files. Like by default we have this IC launcher of Flutter as well. So when you really run this application, you already have an app icon similar to what you guys have in the native experience as well. So that's for the Android. Similar to the iOS, you have this your runner. So inside runner you have your info.plist, which consists of all your iOS configuration. For future iOS specific configuration, you can just set up it over here. And you also have a pod file stuff, but you have not created the pod. We don't need pod right now, so you're in that right now. So then we have these few other files like pubspec.yaml, pubspec.lock, and gitignore. So if you are a Git user, you might be knowing about all this. Like, these are the files and folders. The version control system don't want you guys to add up. Like, these are auto generated, and this doesn't needs at all. So also this file, that's pubspec.yaml. So in like every other framework, we also have this YAML file. So over here you just set up about your application, like its environment version, the application version, the version code, right? Everything is over there. We have this this section where you can add your third-party libraries. You can see, like, there's already commented code for unlocking, how you can use assets. Like, for example, if you unlock this, so to attach some assets, you can just give the path over here, and here it is. So that's really good. Similar to it, you can add up fonts and other files as well. For more information, you can always check it out on flutter.dev, right? So pubspec.yaml is really important. Also, the pubspec.log is an auto generated file. When you run the pubspec.yaml, it generates pubspec.log, right? Now let's get started to the main. Since this is the file, the dart file we are looking for, we already have main.dart file created, right? So as you can see, there's a lot of code available over here, which I think no one is understanding properly right now. Don't worry, we won't be using this code. We will be writing totally new. Although uh, well, I just need to run this application for once so that I can show you guys what does this code, this pre-built code does do whatever, right? So I open my Visor also. So Visor is the application what I use to simulate like screen share basically my phone. So I just open it up over here, right? So my full screen is visible right now. So that I just run this over here, this run command. Also you can type, if you don't find this button, you can definitely type flutter run. It will run in your it will run the application, right? In the background VS Code is doing the same thing what we are doing, right? So as you can see, in our mobile device we have this application. So you can see there is something called app bar, there are a few text available, there is a button, like in technical terms it's called fab button. So what happens if you press this? So like as you can see, if you press this, it increases the counter, but there is no decreasing button also, so you should add that, right? So this is the boilerplate code, this is the app code which is already written, but don't worry, we'll be like deleting everything right here, writing everything from new. So first of all, we have this stateful widget and stateless widget thing. So first I need to explain you about the stateless and stateful widgets. I think I can explain this when I get started totally fresh. Okay, so as like every programming language needs something to import, like in C++ we import iOS stream and everything else. Similar to Flutter, we need to import at least one directionality widget, kind of like, if you can say, material widget. So you just import material dot dart. So this is already included in the Flutter package with the file name is material dot dart, right? So you can get started. So every main dot dart file have there's only one main dot dart file in the entire project. Although this test package is making some noise, we just remove this, we just don't need it, right? We are okay with our main dot dart. So as you can see, you have a main function. You can create a main function right there, like it's just, as you can see, it's similar to Java, JavaScript or C#. You have just data type and data type name. So within that you need to have a run app function. Basically this function runs our application, and this takes a widget. As you can see, when I hover it up, it takes up a widget. So the best part about VS Code, you know everything, like what it takes, what is all about. So if you need to learn more about it, so you can see the widget is given constraint during layout the force, it will fill the entire screen, blah 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 stuff. So that's the run app widget. So but this needs a widget. So let's create a widget first. I will create a stateless widget. What do you say? Like I can give any name. I can say like it's my first widget, so I should name it first widget, right? So this is my first widget, right? I'll explain what it is and how it works. Till then I just pass it up over here and press semicolon. So as you can see, this first widget over here, this extends a stateless widget. If you are from Java background or something similar, you know about the extend keyword. It is used to inherit another class within a class. So class first widget extends stateless widget. This stateless widget comes from this material.dart. This file provides everything, like stateless widgets, stateful widgets and everything else, right? For everything you can just check it out, it's properly defined over here, and luckily they given a YouTube video also. You just open it up and watch it out, like what it is. I'll also explain it about. And then you have this build method. So this build method is basically I just make some space, right? It's clear available. So the override is the annotation. From any programming language, you know, annotations are represented by @ and that annotation name. So when we override something, when we override a build function which is already there in the stateless widget, we use this annotation override, @ override. So when we use widget build context, and we are returning something called container, although we are not returning container right now, but still. So as you can see, this first part is the return type, this is the method name, this is the parameter data type, and this is the parameter, right? So and we are returning a container. So if you are returning container, then container must be a widget. That's why we can return a container, right? So if you can check it out, like a container is a widget also, because container extends also stateless widget. The best part of Flutter is, because it's open source, all of the code of all the built-in widgets are available right in your VS Code with proper documentation and everything. So if I just type the widget, so you can see the widget definition, how it's built up, everything, like what's a key, properties, and all the stuff you need to know about widgets. It's very well documented, and also you can get started with the other tutorials as well about what is it properly. So moreover to widgets, there are two type of widgets. One is the stateless widget and one is stateful widget. So let's come to the browser and search for stateless widgets and stateful widgets. I think this is hanged up, right? I need to stop something. There's something running about here, right? So I just stop it up. We don't need this right now, so we can stop it up, right? So we need to know about stateless and stateful widgets. So as you just google it up, you have a simple documentation over here. Also, I like this Medium article. I would also refer you guys to refer this Medium article. It's very easily well documented, like what's the stateless and stateful widget. So what is the widget? First of all, as you know, Flutter have all the UI components. These UI components are called widgets, and either these widgets can be stateful or stateless, right? So what is a stateless widget? Stateless widgets are immutable widgets. Basically, these cannot change in the runtime or in its lifetime. In a widget life cycle, they cannot change their state, right? So that's the stateless widget. If you don't know about what is state, so basically as state says, like anything which is changeable, like if you ever used a loader or something, that could be a stateful widget, and something text, that's a stateless widget, right? So in the stateful widget, these are the mutable ones, which they can draw multiple times. Some examples of stateful widgets are checkbox, radio, text field, right? So basically, let's get started with the code, right? Wait, it's over here. We don't need app store, right? So in the stateless widget, we have this build method. So whenever you run your application, and this widget, this class runs, this build method runs for the first time, and whatever inside, it just renders, right? So let's run this application again, and we will see how it works, right? Also, you have some shortcuts you need to know about, like in Mac you can have command shift F. This will auto arrange your code. For knowing more about the keyboard shortcuts, you can check it out on, like, there must be a keyboard documentation over here, like this keyboard shortcut references over here, it's mentioned. Oh, that's a huge one. So just check them out, it's really helpful. So as I said, as I run this application and I have this, I just adjust the size of the screen to fit for this, right? So you can see this is a black screen, there's nothing on there, but before that program for death counter app, there are a lot of widgets over here. So this is an empty screen because we have not defined anything right now. So I think now we need to get started with our text. So if you can see, I need to type text, right? There's a text widget for text stuff. So if you want to ever display a text, you can just write a text over here and hit save. So as you can see, we got an error. It says no directionality widget. So for now, for just an explanation, I'll add a directionality widget, like material app widget is a directionality widget. I'll explain it why you add it, right? So we have this home property, and here we can pass our text widget, right? Hi there. So when you just press Control Command S, it's you can see it's really fast. Whatever you change, like hi Akshay, you just type S, Command S, and it's over there. You can also do this via this yellow button and hot reload button. This hot restart, this is hot reload. But this is very ugly looking hi Akshay, right? You need to have something really good one. So I have this scaffold for this. So like, first of all, why I added this material app widget. So if you guys know about the material design principles, if you don't know, I just go to Google and get you guys material design. So Google created this material design thing. They developed in 2014, and that's really good one. Most of the websites try to be materialistic, and applications should all applications are also built with the material design. So the what is material app? Basically, the material library implements widgets that follow material design principles. When designing your UI, you can exclusively use widgets from the standard widget library, or you can use widgets from the material library. You can mix widgets from both libraries, so you can customize existing widgets, or you can build your own custom set of widgets, right? So I think this is quite weird, but you can get learn more about it on flutter.dev. It's available in the introduction to widget section. We have this material components and non-material components as well, like it's properly documented over there. So we use material app because like our text widget needs some direction. Basically it needs some stuff which really important to it, so that's why it needs that. So what if I add a text direction, because it's looking for the text direction, I think left to right, right? So this property in the text widget is inherited from the material app. So if you don't have material app, your text widget will give this error. So I just cut it out, right? I go back to directly text widget and I press hide there, right? So you get this error, but you get this error because this widget is missing this property. So if I add this property over here and I press Ctrl S, you can see there's a hide there over here. It's very short, but it's over there, like it's about this 70518. It's really very font size quite slow. Although you need this material app widget because most of the widgets have some of the missing properties and stuff, which material app helps you up. And material app widget also helps you in setting up app theme. Like you can set up multiple stuff, like you can set up your theme colors, your routing properties, localization, navigation, general routing, everything what an application needs. Like these are shortcuts also, these are a new one, like app shortcuts are also there. It's available in the Android 10. So all these are literally required to build a proper application. So as I used material app, so now you can properly see this, right? So when I just hit Control Command S, it just looks weird over here, right? So I think we should add a scaffold. So there's a widget called scaffold. So there's a widget called scaffold, but if you search for scaffold, the scaffold meaning is basically it provides a temporary structure. In our case, not temporary structure, but it is used to support our materials for like the construction maintenance stuff. But scaffolding literally have this meaning that we build something on top of that which supports our main artwork for our final product. So the basic functionalities and support we need to build our apps with the less quickly, right? So now as you can see, if we didn't added the scaffold, this looks really weird. So I just remove this text widget and I add a scaffold over here, right? So scaffold widget, with every widget you have this special like you know what it's inside, right? Because this the definition of the scaffold is already defined over here. You just hit to like control click or the command click in Mac, and you can see these are the multiple properties a scaffold can have. So as you can see, there are app bar, body, floating action button, draw, and lot more stuff, right? So in the scaffold also you can use control space. This will list out all the available properties which you can set it up in this particular widget. So right now we need body, right? We need a body widget because this defines the body of our application. So if you now add your text widget, what will happen? Let's see. Great. So now you can see your text is now this black thing. For for proper visibility, I just add up a style so that you can see. So you can add also font size. We just added 40. So as you can see now, its height there is visible properly over there, but this is starting exactly on the first pixel of the screen. But many of the times we don't need to get started with the first pixel, we need some space, right? uh, Although multiple devices like Apple also have notches, so if there's something content, we start from here and it's hidden from there. So in that case your user experience is really bad. So for that we have another widget called safe area. Like this, all the notch thing started by Apple. I just hate this thing. Like, why do we have notches? Like, you cannot see in this simulated screen, but in it's my OnePlus 7T, so there's a notch for the camera over there. So if you want to get started your hide there thing from below this thing or below any notch, you just wrap your text with a safe area widget. So what's a safe area widget is, when Google saw that these new mobile devices are having notches, so having a safe area stuff, like which basically what it does, it automatically measures if your device have a notch or something. So it start your content from on first pixel where your notch ends, right? So that's a safe area widget. You just note it out. It's also available on the documentation also. Although right now maybe so there's a child thing, body, home. I didn't explain about this. So imagine, take it as a function property, like this material app function have a home, and this home have a scaffold, then we have body and lot more stuff. So it's all nested. It's a widget tree. Like if you just click over here, it will show you dev tools, which gives you a widget tree. Like this look is actually what the Flutter is understanding at the back. So you have a root widget, then we have first widget, then we have material, then we have scaffold, safe area, and text, right? And like that's a detail about it. So this Dart Dev tools is really good for sometimes inspection stuff. So that's really good. So before starting for more widgets, I would like to show something like what we are going to build at the end, and that's the store UI. So at the end of this video, we'll be like building something like this. This contains very popular widgets like drawer. This is a side drawer, this is an end drawer, right? So here's everything like food, tools, AC unit, bank, and everything. Like this is a scrollable thing. You have this a new screen on top of this, right? A buttons over there, right? And you have this bottom sheet, this alert dialogues, everything. This is very basic UI. I just created this for a quick install, quick setup and guide, right? So let's get started with this app bar. As you can see, this blue thing, this top of the line, this thing is called app bar, where you can add up your drawer, side drawer, and few action buttons also. So for the app bar, you can see we don't need safe area right now, so just remove this, right? Also in this scaffold we have this thing called app bar. So this blue thing what you are seeing is the app bar. So for app bar, as you can see, this takes a preferred size widget, but specifying a preferred size widget, we already have some pre-built preferred size widgets. So if you type app bar, there's a widget for it. So when you just hit save, it basically adds an app bar over here. So like you can see, there's on the top, you just get this green line, right? In the app bar also you have some properties like title, actions, and lot more, right? So on title, like what's the title you want to give. So title also expects a widget, so you can just add a pass to a widget. In our case, we are passing a text widget. So what should we name, like a project name? So it should name is my project, right? So I just hit command S and it's right there. So as you can see, your my project name is on the app bar. It's actually its title. On the app bar you have many different properties as well, like actions, bottoms, background color. So if you want to change the color of it, you can change the color to anything you want, right? That's simple as it. Although there are pre-built colors in Flutter, like if you like this is an enum, it's a colors enum. This consists of multiple colors like amber accent, different shades of black, blue, gray, orange, green, any popular color you can find over here. And these are all just the enum colors. Also, if you want to add up your own stuff like from RGB, you can type color dot from RGB or ARGB. If you want to have ARGB codes or RGB, you can just write this red, green, blue, and the opacity level over here, and this will act as your specific color. Or if you want to have your hash code, so you can just type your hash thing over here and it will works perfectly. So right now this blue color we have by default is really good to see. So with the app bar, you can see there's my project thing we added, right? But you might be looking for these buttons also, like these buttons you are like looking for this, how just this icon thing added. Have you downloaded any image for it, or is it something pre-installed, right? So these are called these are actually called actions. So we also have another property called actions, like in the app bar itself. As you can see, the actions is taking for list of widgets. List is basically array type, like in other programming language you say it's an array, it's also an array. So it's an array of widgets, so you can pass as many widgets as you want. Whatever space you have, you define the actions for it. So you can also have a text in the action also. You just don't need to have everything icon, right? So you just have an text like hello. So if you can see, it's over there, it's just hidden with the debug label, right? First of all, let's understand why this debug label is over here. We didn't added this debug label, right? Why it's there? I just don't want this debug label. Since you added this material app widget, it comes with few other properties, and one of its properties is called debug show checked mode banner. So by default it's true, but if you want to remove this debug banner, you can just simply change its property to false, right? So as just I removed, as I just set false, it just removed. So you can see your hello is all there, but you need this icon, right? This alarm type of icon. This icon is actually named as notification icon, and that another one is star icon, right? So just remove this text right from here. Now you have few other widgets also, like we have an icon widget. So in this icon widget, you can specify icon. So in Flutter, we already have few icons available. So when you press icons is also an enum. It contains all the different type of icons. Look at this. You have a lot of types of icons all over there. In most of our cases, you don't need to install any other third-party library for the icons. But although for Facebook, WhatsApp icons, you need to have something called font awesome. We will discuss that later. So to define an icon, you just press icon. We have icons dot notification, right? This is notification. There's nothing called notification. Then is there something called alarm? So if you just add alarm, it will add up a clock, right? But I think that's not what we are looking for. So this is notifications, right? So this icon name is icons.notification. But as you can see, this icon is right ending up at the last pixel, but in the application I showed you, it have some space. Like you can see the icons, both of the icons have some space. So although just adding up this icon doesn't really make sense if that icon doesn't do anything, right? So although you can add multiple icons over there, so like if you add multiple of these, you can see these don't have that much space which you are looking for, right? So although you can add up specific padding to this particular icon, but I would say use an icon button. There's a button called icon button. I'm getting started with it, icon button. So what this icon button needs? This icon button have two required parameters. Required parameters are basically those which are definitely needing. Without that, it will throw an error. Like if you just remove this, right, it's just showing you a warning sign, this yellow sign, which says that the parameter icon is required. So whenever you see this warning screen, you just hover it up and check what it is missing and what data type it is, right? So in our case, it's an icon. So we have this, we need to pass an icon. How do you know that you need to pass an icon over there? Like just hover it over on the icon. You can see this is a widget of icon. The property must not be null, right? But since we need to pass an icon over here, so we need to have icons. Which type of icons? This is the notification type of icon. So I just added this, right? And I just reformatted the code. I just add the trailing commas which is necessary for it, right? So always remember to add these trailing commas because it makes your code beautiful, right? Right now I'll not explain about the on press, we will discuss that later. But if you can see now that icon button, so it's hidden. It's basically looks like disabled because in our on press it's null. So we just pass an empty function over here, and it's just turn it on with the white color, right? So similar to JavaScript, we have these type of shortcuts for creating functions. So this is the parameter type and this is the function body. So this, since we can see on press is expecting for a function, although function is also a data type, it's a basically you can create functions using the function data type. Also, you don't need to specify this function keyword or every time over here, because like you already have a return type of widget. So if you have a return type of function, you need to specify function, right? So this on press thing, you can anything whenever the person press this icon, what do you want to have? Like, so if I want to print something on the log, so let's print hello world, right? The most popular syntax on the internet, hello world. So to turn on the debug one, you can see the debug console over here. So if you press this save this icon, you can say hello world is printing in our console, right? Because we mentioned that on press of this button, we will run all the code inside this particular block, and we have this print statement over here. Right now in this app, when you press this opens a separate dialog, right? We will discuss how to create dialogues as well, right? So I think we already have delayed with the schedule. It's already 7:22. We have not more than 45 minutes to go ahead. So let's just do it quickly. So you have an icon button right there. So now you need to have another icon like this, that star thing. So as you can see, this is an array and you have this icon. Add another icon button over here, just icon, this icons dot star, right? On the on press of it, just pass an empty function. When you learn the Dart basics, this will be teach everyone will be teaching you about these type of functions. So you can see this icon, this icon, and then we also have a hamburger icon. Since we have in future we need be adding the end drawer, so we need this hamburger icon on over that also, right? So we have this app bar. So let's revise it up. So as you can see, you can have an app bar. In the app bar, you have this much of code. It consists of the title, these two actions. These two actions are made up of icon button. These icon buttons are widgets, right? And these icon buttons consist of an icon type of widget, which needs an icons type of enum to specify which type of icon you don't want to pass, right? So then you have this body. So whatever goes inside the body is all listed in this white segment, like whatever you can see over here, this all the body from start to the very end, it's all body. So there are a few more widgets, like there are a few more popular layouting widgets. So let's get started with those. So we have this widget catalog over here. You should check this out, it's really good. So in the UI1, we have material components. So in material component, as I said, we discussed about the app bar. There's something on bottom navigation bar. In other apps, like if you see like on the YouTube, so when I open just a YouTube thing, you have this app bar kind of stuff over here, right? This explore, subscription, library, home, all these are app bars, right? So that's what the that's not the app bar, sorry, that's bottom navigation bar. So these are bottom navigation bar. You need to have this side drawer. So let's add this drawer first. So as you can see, you can open this documentation over here, and it gives you a good introductory video. Right now I'm on YouTube live streams, I cannot play this video right now, but just check this out. This is widget of the week series is really good. This explains a lot of stuff, right? So let's just play this up. So when you press this hamburger icon, it just opens up a new window, right? What's the code is all about? The code is very simple. In the scaffold only we have a property called drawer, right? So in our code also we have a property like can add, like we added app bar, we added body. So now let's a drawer also. So if you want to know what are the properties we have, you just press control space and this beautiful menu will open. So this drawer thing is there, so we added this drawer. Now we hover it up, it expects a widget, but I think we should have a drawer type of widget, because like it says typically a drawer type of widget, so there must be a widget for this, so that's a called drawer, right? So as you can see, there are a lot of names: drawer header, drawer controller state, drawer alignment, lot of stuff. But here in our case we need this drawer thing, right? So every widget have a child property always. If not, it can child property explains that it also takes up a widget. So since we added a drawer, we might be wondering what to give inside of it, right? So right now we just press command S and we had this hamburger icon automatically added. So as you can see, if I remove this code, this icon removed, and you just single line of code and you have a drawer. It's that easy and that's great. So you have a drawer, like it's a totally empty drawer right now because you have not provided any widget on that. You need to provide some child over here. So you also have something called child, right? So since you need to pass some widgets, right? So if I pass an icon button, let's pass an icon button. The icon button needs an icon. We provide an icon. Icons dot AC unit. Then we provide an on press to it, right? So as you can see, you get an icon button over here. It's already in centered, like because that drawer property says by default everything comes over here is centered. So whatever you need to add from top, if you, so that you can have. So before adding elements to the drawer, I must be like explaining you a few more widgets, like the few very basic layouting widgets called container, row, column and stack. So if you can see it over here in the documentation, we have this introduction building layout section, and in the layouts in Flutter section we have this widget diagram, and these are the widgets. Where is row, column, our favorite one? Yeah. So layouting widgets, basically there are two major widgets, three major widgets we always use, like this row and column thing. So as you can see in this example, this row is basically whatever you need to add in the horizontal aspect comes in the row. Like this particular column, this particular thing is the first element of a row, and this particular thing is the second element of the row. Where in the column you can see this is the first element, this is second element, these are third and fourth, these are the elements. Also this is also a nested one. So as you can see, this is also a row, then this is a column, this is a row. There's a lot of stuff over here, it's also defined over here. So we'll be like doing the same thing. So let's get started over here. So as I said, like we added a text widget, but I need to add a long list of text widgets right here. So as if I need to add these text widgets in at the bottom of it, we need to have a column, right? So we just cut our text thing, right? And we used a column widget. So in a column widget, you can see there's a property called children. With the children thing, you can see this is again an array, as we learned in the app bar actions. these arrays consist of multiple widgets. Like this array of children consists of list of widgets, so you can pass n number of widgets over here. So you can pass text, 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 and when you press save, it just saves like that. So what just happens, right? So when we created this column thing, it just acquired all the width and the height from the screen, starting from here to here, everything from like starting to end pixel. And then we have this multiple text widgets, right? So you can add different multiple widgets for in this whole column. But if you add so many widgets over here at one time, it will break, right? It says that bottom overflow by 340 pixels. Like if you cannot see, like over here in the debug console, you can see the error, exactly what's the error happened. So it's really important to know that what's going on in the debug console. So you need to check that what type of exception it occurs. So it says that on the line number 32 of main dot dart, we broke something. What we broke, it says that we are overflowing some content in the column widget. So why we are overflowing, it should be scrollable, right? But columns are not scrollable. Columns are not meant for scrollable in the scrollable nature. So whatever you add in the column, if it exceeds the screen size, then it will break. So instead of column, you can add a list view type of widget. Similar to the column, we have a list view type of widget, but the best part with list views are these are scrollable, so you can scroll it up, right over there. Think in the live chat section, people might be having few doubts. Let's just check it up. Nice. Also just check these links for regex software winter training programs and all. These are really important, right? So we just saw a list view thing, we saw a column thing. What happens if I replace it with a row? So what happens with the row, all the stuff which is starting like going over there, it's starting right with this. But for the vertical thing, for vertical scrollable, you said you add list view, right? But what happens with the horizontal one? I need to scroll horizontally, right? So in the list view itself, there's a property called axis. It's not axis, basically it's scroll direction. So the scroll direction type of property is requiring an axis type of widget. It's in basically an enum, so you just type axis dot horizontal or vertical. By default it's set to vertical, but if you want to scroll it on horizontal, you can just axis dot horizontal and hit control command S. Now you can scroll on the horizontal even, right? So whenever you want to build something for horizontal scroll, you just change the property of list view called scroll direction, right? So let's just remove everything right here and get focus again to the documentation, right? What's over there mentioned. So as you can see, we use this material app widget, scaffold widget, app bar widget. There's widget called center to make some stuff center, right? Then we have a non-material type of widget also, but we use material one. So as you can see, if you want to create this type of stuff, like this image on the left and this is something, so first let attach an image in our project, right? The most thing important, like first of all understand how you can attach images in the project. So although I am going quite early with the images section, but let's take an image sample, some sample image. Let's take this or this as an image, right? Save, copy image address, right? So for displaying an image, we have an image tag. So in our body we already have this list view thing, right? So just remove this and add it with a column. Well, like columns are even better, right? So in order to add an image and it's not in the local directory, you have an image property. So like this is an image widget, and you can select which type of image widget. So there are basically 4 type of image widgets we have: image.asset, image.file, image.memory, and image.network. So since we are using a picture from an online resource, it's not downloaded in our system, it's a network widget. So image.network, it expects a string. String is basically where you add the URL for that widget. So you just hit that. Okay, this gives you an error because this is not the proper type, right? Let's open image in new tab. I think this will work, right? So just change all this, that, and hit Command S. Now you can see you have an image, but you didn't give it the size, right? So how does it render? So if you don't specify a size to a image, it just takes as maximum size as it wants. It also depends on its aspect ratio. So in order to define its size, you have a width and height property in the image itself. So like similar to the CSS, we have a width and height thing available. You need to press a comma over there first of all. So we just enter 100 pixels, 100 points. Basically these are also points, don't need to be worried about different type of screen sizes. If you press 100.100, it will just define in 100.100 stuff, but 100 feels like too small. It's got started with 300. So this is a 300 by 300 image, right? So our target is to build something like this, what these guys are doing, like this one, and this column stuff, right? So we need to have this row and this column widget, right? So first of all, it says like create a row, then there are columns inside. So in a row we have this particular section and this particular section. So we will also be doing similar to like that. So we just change it to row, and as our first child, first one is the column and second one is the image, like as you can see in this example as well. First one is a column, second one is an image, right? So if you just Command S, there's something weird happen, right? So in order to check what happened, we add few more widgets over here, like okay. So as you can see, this thing starts from here and this Flutter thing starts from here. So first of all, we reduce the size of it by 200 by 200. Okay, so as you can see, the first element of the row, this column thing, took whatever space it needs, and the another took whatever space it needs, but we need to specify equally. So either way you can do it via property in column called main axis alignment, right? So this main axis alignment property allows you to set how you want to divide the space between inside this column, right? Well, it's not about, we are not discussing about the column, sorry. We need to add this property in our row. So in row also we have a main axis alignment. So with the main axis alignment we have something called space between and space equally. So when you press space evenly, what it happens, like it took equal space for this and equal space for this, but we have already specified space for Flutter, so it adjusts for it. So if we remove this thing, what will happen? Okay, Flutter is taking too much space. We just make it too small. I think explaining with this thing is quite difficult, so we add another column in this row explaining what is going on. So when you specify this property called main axis alignment, this main axis alignment space evenly is basically like we have equal space from here, from here, from here, and here, right? There's a property called space between. So when you hit that, so all the empty space which is left is in the between of all the both widgets. So what happens if you have more than two widgets inside this? So what it comes in the center, right? So that space between property, you can just try it out. There's a lot of like center one, in the center one all the space on the both sides, then we have space around, space start, like everything you want to set on the start or end, you can play around it. It's really good, right? So let's get into this example. We have this row, this is the column, and I think they have mentioned a code for that also. So as you can see in this row, this children have this image dot asset. This is an asset type of, they already have this picture in their Flutter project. We have not added any image right now. So having a row with a space evenly, it just settle out like equal space, like the space is over there, over there, over there, and in the column you can see equally separated spaces, right? We already encountered this yellow thing. Why this yellow thing occurs? Because like something broken with the size aspect. So remember not to build something too large which cannot fit a device, right? So always use dynamic, use percentages, and not fixed numbers. So I think we should focus more on this particular application. So first of all, you can see there's a this something, this card thing kind of stuff over here. Like this is a card, and we have this icon on the leading and this icon on the trailing thing. So just fuck the row column right now. Let's get started with so in the body we'll be like using a list view, because like in this we can see our view is scrollable, so we use list view, and we have this children property over here. So now first you can see there's a card thing, right? So we also have a card type of widget. So when you use a card, it's already created a box, but you need to add some child to it in order to see what happens. Like, so I added a card and a child. So as you can see, this small white box with some elevation over there added, it's our card. If you want to see the elevation, you can increase it value more, so you can see the drop shadow increases. So that drop shadow is actually what the elevation says. Like it feels like it's hovering up, like the card is hovering up, right? So by default, whatever the value it is, we will take it, right? Now as you can see, this type of user interface can be already built in Flutter, right? So there's a widget called list style. So we use a list style type of widget. So it basically have few properties like leading, trailing, title, dense, color and stuff. So it really helps, like if you need to create some beautiful cards and very easily, like these everything are list style. Like this orange stuff is a leading thing, this cucumber is the title, price is the subtitle, add is the trailing element. So when you add a title, it expects a widget. So now you can pass a widget what we are looking for, Flutter grocery store. So you just added Flutter grocery store. Great. So what happens, like it took some padding, there's some spacing over here, there's some margin, there's a beautiful looking card, right? So you can, similar to title, we have a subtitle also, so you can add a subtitle by Akshay Bingani. I will feel. So you can add a subtitle also. So you can see like the title is in black color and subtitle is in gray color. It's predefined. You can always specify a style to the text element, right? Then you also have a leading stuff, so you need to add a icon over on the over here. You can specify an icon, so you can add an icon called basket, shopping basket, right? So when you press the leading, so it consists of this leading. Similar to leading, we have a trailing stuff in this list style. So as you can see, like building user interface with list style is really easy, right? So you just add another shopping basket, this time shopping bag. So as you can see like this, well, in this user interface you can see the title is in center, but in our case it's left aligned, right? And we don't need subtitle, so let's just remove it and save it up. It's left aligned, we need to have it centered. So although since we don't have any align property in the list style, you can always see that the text is what taking the whole space and it's already left aligned. So in text we have a text align property. So when you price AL or T text align, you just see over here, and it expects an enum. It expects a text align type of enum. So added this text align dot center. So we need our text in center. That's why we added text align dot center. So you can see now the text is in center, right? That's great. That's what we really looking for. Look, I didn't added any trailing comma over here. I should add that trailing comma. So congratulations, we created our first list style which looks like this, right? And we also added our drawer. Now what do you say, like first we should complete our drawer or this user interface? I think user interface would be better, right? Let's add stuff in the drawer first, I feel. So in the drawer, where is the drawer, man? Yeah, here is the drawer. So in our application, our drawer have this AC icon, but in the application we want to build, we have this first image, then they have a profile, order, support and logout buttons, right? So first of all, as you can see, like we need multiple widgets inside the drawer, so having just an icon button doesn't make sense. So that's why we will add a list view to it, right? So we added this list view. So as you can see, some widgets are like this looks like a card and a list type. Like you can see the elevation on the bottom of it, so it's a card, and there's something inside which is called list style. So that's profile, and this is our title, this is our trailing, as we did over here also. this is our title and this is our trailing, right? So similar to that, we will be like doing the same thing. First of all, we will add an image over here. I think let's first add an asset. Like, let me teach you how to add an image to a project. To add any asset like an image or something, you need to always stop your application or kill your application. Now to add an image, as you can see, we have a pubspec.yml file, and it's mentioned to add any assets you need to uncomment this up and add your image file by this. So let's create a new folder, right? Let's create a new folder called assets, right? In assets we create an images folder. It's not necessary, you can keep it outside also, but I prefer like this. So as you can see, in our lib folder we now have a asset folder and then an image folder, right? So you need to add an image over here. So this looks like a grocery image, so first we need to download a grocery image. Grocery image, here it is. So you just download this image in that particular folder. So first of all, let's select that destination, lib assets images, and hit save. So before that, I can change the file name as image file, right? So I just save that over here. So as you can see, now in our assets and images folder we have an image file.jpg, right? So now we need to link this asset into our project. So we just uncomment it up and we need to specify the path. So this thing expects this like pubspec.yml is in the root of this project folder, right? So the path will be like giving it with the root only. So in the root we have this first folder called lib. So like press lib slash assets slash images, then we have this image file.jpg. This is how you can link. So when you add up an image, it shows up small preview over here. This helps you understand that the image is added or not. As you hover it up, it also looks like it's added. Press command S and the pub.get is running so that the image is integrated to the project. So now you need to start the application again, right? Now before we use image.network, but now we are using image.asset. Over here we also need to specify the same path we specified over there, like lib assets images image file dot jpg. As you can see, our application already running. So I just hit command S and voila, we have our image on the drawer, right? We added this list view, this image, and this image is out there. That's really quick and really fast. Now we need to add a few cards, right? So we add a card. In the card we have that list style. In list style we have properties called title. In title we have to add a widget called text. So what stuff is there? Like it's a profile, order, support, and logout. So first one is profile, right? I just mistakenly close this every time, right? So we just add profile right over here. So hit command S, you can see profile is there with a card inside, right? Then you need to pass a trailing. So trailing expects an we added a icon in the trailing, right? So you can just add an icon, or you can add an icon button also, but icon does everything. So why we don't need icon buttons for that. So this is a type of person type of icon. So when you hit command S, it just appears over there. So look, as you added this in this list view, this list view is the array of widgets, and we added our first card, right? Then you can just copy it up and replicate. Let's just do that. So you can see we added 4 buttons. Just need to change the name and the icons: order, support, logout, right? So let's just quickly do that. Orders, support, so order, support, and logout. So we change the names. Now we need to change the icons. What's in the support? Support, we added star. Well, you want to add something else, you can add that. Have a logout icon also. So as you can see, our drawer looks similar to this. Well, in our drawer you don't have this margin, right? In this drawer you can see that image have a proper margin, but we didn't added that margin, so I think we should add that, right? So let's understand what how to add margin, right? We can reduce this a little bit, and we have this image, right? To add margin or padding, we can wrap the image in a container type of widget. So container is also a popular widget. You need to understand about container. So you can just add your image inside a container, right? As you can see, there's no change while adding a container, because we didn't specify any change. We just added an empty container on top of the image. But in container we have a lot of properties, like we have padding, margin, transform, width, height, everything you want to do that, right? So we specify a margin. So when we specify width, we added like directly a double type, like we added 12 or 15. But when we specify margin or padding, we also need to specify which side of it we need to add margin. In our case, like this margin expects a edge insets geometry type, so that's a type. We have edge insets dot all is basically means adding margin to, we are adding margin to all the sides. Only means we are adding margin to a specific side. Symmetric means you are adding for vertical or horizontal. So we are adding margin to all. So I just added 10. So you can see there's a 10 pixel margin on all the sides, on bottom, on left, on top, on right. If you know to, you can press 100 and you can see 100 pixel margin on all the sides, right? That's the margin property, right, in the container one. So that's important. Now I think we just replicated very similar to this thing, and we are already 8 o'clock. I don't think we will be able to finish that. So first, like just quickly add this image and this categories. As you can see, there's a border over there, like you can add borders using containers or decorated box widgets. So in our body, let's just add container. First of all, there's an image, so we added this image sim, like so we add image, need to have container, then you have a child, then we have image dot asset, then we have lib/assets/images/image file dot jpg, right? In container, now we need to specify the margin, right? So we add aginsets dot all, we specify 10, right? So we added 10 pixels margin everywhere. Now after the container, we have this categories thing, right? So as you can see, like category is not a button, it's just a view with a border, and it's also aligned in center, right? So you can add a container, because like container have a property called decoration, right? That decoration we can add up for adding a border. First of all, let's add up the child. What we are looking for, we are looking for a text, right? And that our text is categories. So when you hit command S, as you can see, categories are over there. Container itself don't have its any presence, so if you want to see the container presence, you can add a color to it. So this will show the presence of the container, like that container width and height by default is what, right? But we don't need to add this thing over here. We also have an alignment property in container, so you can add alignment dot center. So this all the elements inside that container will be aligned to center when you use this property, right? But it don't looks like that border. How to add this border? We need that border, right? So we have this decoration property. So in decoration, it takes for an type of decoration type of objects. Similar, we have something called shape decoration, clip art decoration, and we also have box decoration. So today we'll be like using a box decoration. So in box decoration, you can see we have multiple properties, like you can add box shadow, color, gradient, image, shape, anything. So we will be adding a border, but you can see like in border, it expects for a box border. It also suggests to use border type of object inside this. So use border. So since we don't need to specify, we are not going to add border for every different side of it. So we can use border dot all. So it will automatically apply to all the sides, right? So inside it we have a width. So you can add a 1 pixel width of border with the color as colors dot black. We are looking for a black border. Then we don't need any border style. There are some border style like dashed border or something. So as you can see, like when I added this border, this is a straight square border. There is no curves, nothing. But in our application, we see that this is a curved thing and we have extra spacing. You know how we need to add the extra spacing, right? So just 10 minutes we have more. So as I explained earlier, to add extra spacing, we add margin, sets dot all, we provide 10. So now you can see we added this extra spacing of 10 pixels from left, from right, top and bottom, right? But we need some spacing inside also. As you can see, there's spacing inside over there also. So the spacing inside something is called a padding, and spacing outside something is called a margin. Similar to CSS, we can specify over there like padding 10. So you can see like categories is right, it's large, and that categories in this application the categories is bold also. So we can specify a bold style. So text style, we have a property called font weight. So like when you type font, you know font family, font features, font size, font style, font weight. So what font weight? Font weight is again an enum which takes an enum like font weight dot bold. So this makes our text bold. Similar to font weight, we need to specify the font size. So for the font size, Okay, so font size expects a double, it don't needs a class type of it, so you can directly specify a double. So you can add 20 or 30, whatever you want. I add 20 over here, right? So this is all the container stuff. So we added this beautiful container which looks similar to this, but as you can see there's a curve edges, like it's a border radius type of thing also there. So you need to specify a radius also. So let's figure out in the decoration thing, do we have something called radius? Yes, we have a border radius. What does this border radius need? It expects a border radius type of stuff, right? So we have border radius, then we have a enum, like it's a circular type of radius we want to give. How much radius we want to give? We are expecting to give 10. So when you click 10, it gives a radius of 10. If you add 30, it rounds up even more. You can adjust it, you can just tweak it up. Border radius dot circular. So that's what the border radius thing is there, right? So it now looks like same as this one, categories, and this categories, that's not the capital one also. So then we have this complicated UI. So as you can see over here, there's a box with the border, then there are separate boxes, and in every box we have an icon, then we have a text. In another box we have an icon, we have a text, we have an icon, we have a text, right? So since we don't have that much time right now, we can cover this up later also, but right now let's just try to do what we can, right? So when I said like to install this brackets extension, that's because now as you can see, like we have a lot of brackets closing over here, but how would you know like which bracket? Although that Flutter plugin gives us an idea what type of bracket is closing right over here, but still this yellow line gives you an even better idea. So what we were adding stuff in the list view in the children one, so we need to add this this in this list view, right? So in this blue one, it's the container is ending up over here. So now we need to add another container, and it should look like this. So I just copy all the properties of it, like all the decoration and margin and padding, right? Everything is very same. So I added all the stuff. Now as you can see, there's an empty container occurred with a 10 pixels padding. Do I like specify the padding in the bottom? So now we need to add child, right? So as you can see, like first of all there's a row, but there's a column, like because like this container contains two rows, like this one is a row, this one is another row. So we'll be like starting with a column. So in column we add two rows, right? First we build a very basic stuff like this, like in a column we have two rows, like in every row we again have a container, right? In every row we have a children, and we need a container, and we need three containers in every row, like this first, second, and third one. Similar to this one, you can children container. Okay, so if I just save it up, it doesn't displays anything because the containers itself don't have any size or something. But if you add a child like an icon, I just quickly show you like an icon like this, it looks like over here, right? So if I replace this type of container with every of this, you can see there is something similar going on, like we have 6 icons in two rows, like 3 in the set of 3 and 3. And in this UI you can see these are like equally arranged. As I said, in the row and the column we have something called main axis alignment dot space evenly. So when you hit that, it doesn't did anything, right? Okay, so you add it over here also. So when you add it in the row, you remove it from here and you add this in this row also, right? Okay, so I think the session we should now over it up. Although if you want to continue building this user interface, I have already uploaded this on my GitHub repository. You can check this out over here. First of all, like, just quit this project so that we get our performance back, right? So this is my GitHub repository, GitHub account. You can check out for this. I just recently uploaded this Flutter store UI stuff, right? This is the exact stuff what you are looking over here, right? So this is what it contains: all these drawers, side drawers, end drawers, going to next screen, everything is mentioned over there. You can check the code out over here, and in future if we met again, like in the winter session maybe, so we'll like completing this all by us, like it mentioned everything, right, what we are building. So you can just go to the Akshay Bingani / Flutter store UI and you can just check it out. So now let's come to the end of this session. So first, like we need to discuss about the winter session, because like what we are going to learning in this winter, like we are organizing a Flutter program, like it's a Flutter 8 weeks of Flutter training. We'll be like learning everything about Flutter, like not everything, but yeah, it's very beginner to very advanced level of stuff, so that you can get easily a job, and you can get started with your own apps, publishing it to Play stores. So here is it like winter training. So it's an 8-week training with the platform would be like Google Meet. We have an evening and night batches, so that if you are a working professional or student and you are you want time something at the night, you can also attend us. And you will be learning a lot of stuff like Dart basics, components of Flutter, SQLite, and lot of stuff, right? We'll be providing you e-notes, 60 hours of on-demand video lectures. Although these sessions are on Google Meet, but we also have our recorded sessions for that. So in future, in any time you want to learn, you can always look ahead, right, with that session. So that output is really that's a syllabus we have already mentioned over here. We get the introduction, we have the Dart basics, we are like getting started with Flutter, like creating some kind of application like this. We like learning for navigation, state management, industrialize. Like state management is something really important in big applications. How your data is going on. We like learning SQL database. We'll be building an e-commerce app also. Right now, as you can see, this is just a user interface for the e-commerce, but there are ton of features in an e-commerce application, and we will be like building everything. Like you imagine like you are building an Amazon or Flipkart user a lot of stuff, right? So we have web servers. We will like create help you out in learning Firebase, setting up databases, authentication services like Google sign in, Facebook sign in, and lot of stuff. We will also be learning with the working with the camera and gallery stuff in Flutter. Yes, in Flutter we can use camera, location, maps, Google Maps, everything. So we'll be like learning all of the stuff over there. Then we will like adding push notifications. Push notification either by 5 is messaging or one signal. We have a lot of stuff over there. Then OTP is authentication via any messaging API, offline data persistence, and lot more stuff. Like it's even full package of learning material to really get started with Flutter and stuff. And that's it. It's really good one, and it's really cheap. Like if you are an Indian student, you can just get it in 749 rupees, 60 hours of content, online content and live classes just for 749 rupees. It's less than $10. And for outside of Indian students, we have just $20 international fee, which is nothing. It's just a small amount for what you are getting about all of the stuff over here, with a proper technical support and Q&A sessions with the developers and third-party engineers and lot more people out there. So just check it out. Winter training session, we are starting it from 21st December. Our batches are starting from 21st December. If someone interested in big data, machine learning, AI, data science, Python, Linux, DevOps, we also have sessions for them. So like just check it out. Our platform programs, we have ML, DL, big data, Flutter, CP, and lot more stuff. And these are not trained by any individual. These are like prepared by experienced people, like who have industry experience, who have been training in lot of companies. Like we also have training in Cognizant and all, and our students are also placed in such type of big companies as well. So just check it out and fill up the enrollment form and submit it as soon as you can. Right, that's great. I think that's it for now. Even if you want to contact me, this is my GitHub account. You can contact me over here, or I'm available on LinkedIn as well. Just simply, in order to contact me, search my name on Google, and I'll be there. Like I'm the only guy with this name, so you can contact me simply by this. Right, so you have like my LinkedIn, Facebook, GitHub, Twitter, everything out there. You can contact me in either ways. Although also I would like to thank Regex Solutions to again offer me this session. Like I really um, uh, appreciate what the stuff they are taking it in just 750 rupees. They are teaching so much of the great stuff which you cannot get in more than 5,000 6,000 rupees packages even on other websites. So you just visit it out on Regex Solutions. Now let's wrap it up. Regex Software Solutions will like guide you for the December batch although. So let's bye bye guys.